Juu unapata mtu anarana hata ajui mambo ya mortuary. Na watu ambao wanafai kuirun, they are not there.
They are there, wamesoma. That's why I'm saying we base so much in Kenya mostly, we base so much whatever we want to do on paper. Yeah, I have a diploma. But to me, what I can say, my diploma in mortuary science that I got in Zambia, it equates with what I'm doing out. Yeah, I stand out. Yeah.
Wow.
And call it spade a spade. Yeah, you don't go there and be surprised. You have a diploma, you are just waiting for promotions. You should not be waiting for promotion. You are the person who is supposed to transform the industry. If you see what people have studied outside there, and if you look at their facilities, they don't measure up. They don't measure up. Why? Because they went there, they got the paper, and they're just silent like this.
Tuko na makaratasi.
But if you see, the mortuary is being run down. They should stand out and let their paper talk of what they've learned, they've achieved in their programs, in the certificate or diploma courses. Let it stand out. Me, I'm proud that Sili, where it is.
Could be the problem be at the education system of the mortician mortuary science sector?
What I can say, I cannot say that. It's good that now so many colleges are coming up with the study of mortuary science. But I have a problem. They're not involving the key stakeholders in coming up with curriculums. They have really sidelined the key stakeholders. See what I have here. And I need to show you. This is an embalming book.
History, theory, and the practical.
I was given by
Robert G. Mayer.
I was given by Dominic Anostorino. This book, I've gone through it a lot. You see, you need to study this.
Fifth edition.
These are the kind of books, and I have from first to this the 5th edition. I'm just waiting for the 6th edition to come out because this thing keeps on changing.
Evolving.
Now the advanced technology in embalming. So you find these books, and then the thing, there's another book here. This one was given personally by these authors. These are restorative art, theory and applications. I don't want to open here because, you know, it will scare some people or whatever is this idea. Yeah. But these are my personal friends. You see, there are these kind of books that people need to learn about.
Restorative art,
I've gone through these books.
Application.
And then, this one now applies to you. People work. You see, we have the Female Directors magazines. So this one also applies to you as somebody who's now in the podcast. Yeah, you should be educating, apart from publishing magazines, you should be also educating us on what to do. And you see, they are very, and you see what you have written, becoming a vital partner in your community. Yeah. So research has also been done. I don't want to. I want to show you the name of the person, but you see. Men and women of the mortuary, constructive career social, in Nairobi. There's a person who was doing the PhD, and if you go to the last page, he asked a question. He made a question, and this research was done in 2011. So you can see the level of how I've known this industry for quite a long time, and the question that you have asked. And he asked a question. He made up a recommendation here. He was saying, will there be any difference with somebody who has done PhD degree in mortuary science and somebody who has done a 3-month certificate course? And he said that there's no difference because they are going to do the same work. After finishing a PhD, you are just going to do the same work of embalming. Yeah.
Ndio maana nilikuuliza wewe ufanye embalming ukasema no.
Let me ask you. There are people who have done now diploma in mortuary science.
Yes.
There are people who did 3-month course. There are people who have done certificates. Doing the same work. I think you have gone to this facility.
They are doing the same work.
Just doing the same work. There's no level of other. They are not bringing any other knowledge or skill apart from what they did. You know, in mortuary, what you need to achieve as an embalmer, there are only 3 things. Sanitation, preservation, and presentation. But if you go to most of the mortuaries here in Kenya, what they are trying to achieve is the preservation. Presentation is lacking. Yeah, and sanitation. because most of the mortuaries are pathetic. Yeah, so sanitation is one thing, presentation is one thing, it's only the preservation that they do. And you can see in most of the mortuaries, when they preserve the bodies, most of the time you find they're just black pigments. So they don't bring that outlook of the natural look of the body when somebody has died. So that one tells you that we have to do a lot work in the presentation of the body so that it heals the family in grieving. And then the sanitation also is another thing that needs area to. What we are only doing is just preservation. Yeah, and preservation of the body can be done even within 2 weeks. You do know how to preserve bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's no difference between a degree in mortuary.
I'm not saying that there's no difference. It's only that the research has been done. And that's why you see, if you go to America, they call it associate degree. The associate degree is just equivalent of diploma. It's just a diploma course. It's a 2-year course. In United States, in their jurisdiction, the highest level you can go is a 2-year program. And they call it associate degree, which is equivalent to diploma course. That's how they do it. So you find that the outcome, once you have finished, you either become an embalmer or a funeral director. The same thing that you're going to do with the person who has done a 1-year course or 3 months. That will be the same. Preservation is that the same. Because in this mortuary science course, there are 5 areas you need to study about. There are 5 areas.
Yeah.
There's this public health area and technical. This is where incorporates 6 units. Yeah. This is where we have the pathology.
Yeah.
And this pathology, it should be psychological pathology. You're not going to go deep into the pathology area. It's just physiological pathology. And then there's thanatochemistry. And then there's microbiology in relation to mortuary science. So I've said pathology, microbiology,
the zinc what?
The chemistry, anatomy, and then restorative art and embalming. That is public health area and technical area for you to become an embalmer. And then we have the business area. This is where now you'll study about the funeral service management, small business management, funeral home administration, and computer applications and accounting. That is the business area. Those are another second area. The third area, you'll go into the social sciences. Now this is where you study the sociology, the psychology, the communication skills, and lastly, the grief counseling, which you call thanatology. We have finished in the
psychology, the third one.
The third one. Now we go into the legal area, the fourth one. In the fourth one here, in the legal area, this now you need to study about the funeral laws, if we have, you see, the mortuary laws and the ethics. That is in the legal area. And the last one, you go to the liberal arts. This now you need to know about maths, English, and the literature, and the history
of mortuary science.
If you have studied that one across the globe, across the world, now you can now be called somebody who is qualified and competent. But now there are career pathways you can branch. You can say, I'm not interested in embalming. So you would do that public health area too much. You'll just do maybe a little bit of anatomy, but concentrate so much in the business area of funeral directing. But if you're an embalmer, you need now to concentrate so much on the public health area. There are people who want to be just in communication, like you want to be in more of the communication on the media area. You have your own path. So that at the end of the day, we are going to produce restorative artists, embalmers, funeral directors, grief counselors, funeral home administrators, funeral consultants. We are going to have so many people. That's how it should be up. But you see now in the courses that I've seen what they're doing without him, they're pumping a lot in the brains of these students. There's too much theory without practicals. Show me. I want to be challenged. Tell me any college here in Kenya have got a well set up embalming laboratory or a restorative art laboratory that have set up a standalone laboratory for practicals. Students go to college. Once the college, directly they are being taken to any of the mortuaries
around.
Yeah, to go. And
unajua hata kuna ingine
there's too much theory than practicals. Yeah.
Nilisikia ingine hata wana mortuary. So
Yeah.
what they do, they theory tukishasoma.
There's too much online.
Yeah, ukishamaliza kusoma unaenda kujaribu.
And then another thing that I'm always query, the people who also training, they're not even qualified about even doing embalming. They don't understand the industry well. When I was in Zimbabwe, let me tell you, do you know the lecturers, the owners of the institution, they own their own funeral homes. Yeah, they own their own funeral homes. Even if you go to United States, the people who come here, the presidents, they own their own funeral homes. So when they go to lecture, they're already lecturing based on what they own. So they're teaching you on what you know. But here in Kenya, somebody just has studied too much paper, theory, but no experience or exposure in the funeral industry. It should be changed, how this thing operates. And that's why when you see these teachers are coming out, tell me, since this course started, let's say from Chiromo, do you know how many students have studied that mortuary science?
Ni wengi.
How many have been employed?
Ni wachache.
Very few. Why? This industry, it's more of family-owned businesses. It's a matter of trust. You see, that's why it's a calling. You should not go there. I have a paper now, I'm looking for a job. They have to look if you have that calling. And some people are using that one. You know, when it came, so people rushed so that automatically you're going to get employed. When the reality dawned to them, that is not the case they wanted. So many people are sitting with their papers. But if you go to Zimbabwe, in South Africa, 100% transition, you get employed. Because these are, majority are the owners. They know how the market behaves. Do you know in other countries like in America, they're shutting down funeral homes? Yeah, that's places that they're shutting funeral homes. Why? Because people don't see how the world is all evolving. You have studied embalming. You'll go in certain areas, now they are doing cremation. How will that one help you? South Africa, they don't do most of embalming.
It's good in cremation.
Yeah, no, not cremation. The body stays for 3 days, it's buried. Because the system is working well. Yeah, even here in Kenya, the Muslim, you know, that's why you have the religious people, Muslim Hindus. Yeah. So whenever this curriculum comes, they should involve the stakeholders like us, who will tell them, this is the market trend. This is where people are going. To me, I'm so much into green burials. That's what I'm trying to advocate for. Natural burial, umekufa, unapelekwa moja, hakuna kuongezewa kemikali yoyote, unapelekwa kwa body underground without kuweka tombstone, ni miti inapandwa hapo and life continues. Itafika pali time, and then these courses, you know, these things keep on mutating. Itafika pali, what you have studied inakuwa obsolete. Kitu umesoma after 2 years inakuwa obsolete. Unapata these are now the technology you are using. So you need to train them again. That's where the problem is.
Si kuchukua
No, you know, me, I'm sorry to say, most of the colleges that what are doing here, especially in Kenya, is money-minded.
Yeah.
They're not after the skills and competency. Otherwise, watu wametolewa, wamesomeshwa mpaka sahi, we should not be still having cases that, like you had the case in TV at Mabanyamira and claim bodies, whatever, such kind of thing. We should not be having such kind of scenarios. These are people who lack ethics and code of conduct. We should not be having. I'm very sad. It saddens me when people say that they have trained only to find that still, if you go to their facilities, they're more becoming worse than the way they were before. What is the problem? Is it the kind of courses they're doing, or is it the facilities? Because I expect that once you're out of college, you should practice what you have been taught. You should be the change people have been yearning for. That's how it should be.
Wow.
So I think we have talked about that also.
Yeah. So I want us to cover one more before tuingie tumalizie. The advocacy and awareness of the funeral morticians like mental. Unaonaje, wanakuwa unapata wengi wako na shida ya mental challenges sana juu ya job. What can be helped to cover up ama kuavoid hiyo mambo ya,
you see, when people go to this, I want to tell you that some people go to this thing not because they have the passion and the calling. They go because they are seeking for employment and get something to put food on their table. So when they go there, the reality dawns on them that inaanza kuwa traumatized. Unaona? You should be psychologically prepared. People like us, we have been in this industry for long, for over 25 good years. We don't have such kind of things. You see? And then another thing, some people are highly exposed to these dangers, especially in the training. Go to any morgue, utapata either if there's no too much formalin in that area, utasikia bad odors zinatoka huko, mwili zinanuka, unaona? Unajua already itaku affect. Alafu some people, umesikia hata wengine wanasema you are used to this kind of exposure, but they don't know in their health, in a damage. That's why you find some students, and I know, you know even very well, there are people who have died at the workplace. Hata kama wameshatoka kazi, they'll die eventually. Nini naua as a result of where they used to work. There must be highest safety precautions of the people working there. And that's why I'm saying we as stakeholders should be involved in the coming up with the trainings so that you don't expose these innocent students to high health areas. I've seen students going there and then wanakuwa exposed kwa this much chemicals. And then anaanza kuwa sick after training. He has trained, he has paid the fees, he's not getting employment, anaanza kuwa sickling. As a result of the training ile alikuwa exposed. They need to be protected. And that's why I want government to come in for this training. There should be ways of protecting these students because they're still students. Yeah, they need to be protected.